Dear student, good morning to all of you. I am LB Singh, your economics teacher. I am going to. Dear student, good morning to all of you. I am LB Singh, your economics teacher. I am going to teach you economics of standard 8. In this lesson, you are welcome to study poverty as a challenge. This is the lesson number 3 of standard 9 of economics. You will study about the poverty in India as well as regarding the world, because poverty is the greatest challenge for the world, each and every country. But some countries have changed their poverty by investment in the human resources. Have you heard the name of China? Have you heard the name of Russia? They have developed their human resources, and that country now these days is developed country in the world. But we are the inhabitants and citizen of India, so we have to study poverty as a challenge in India. In that case, we are the inhabitants of Bihar. So, we have to study especially regarding the Bihar. That means India is the country of villages. India is the country of different state and union territories. So, we have to study about interstate disparities. Do you know? In all the states, there are poverty. But in some states, they are trying to remove or decline the people of who are living under the poverty. According to All India Head Count Ratio, according to All India Head Count Ratio, in short form it is called HCR. That means so many countries are, so many states are poor in India. So we have to study which state are the poorest state in India. According to data, it will be proved that they are poor. So you can say, according to data of 2011 and 12, that means there were 21.9% people of Assam, Uttar Pradesh, that is called in short UP, Bihar, Odisha. These states have very poor people, but they are trying to remove the poverty by utilizing different resources. These resources will be mentioned by me just now. See, Bihar, poverty is that poverty ratio is, that means 38.7. You can see on the second position Odisha. Have you heard the name of Odisha? It has the ratio of poverty 32.6%. In urban areas, in Bihar and Odisha, there are also poor people. It is not essential. Only poor people are living in rural areas. They are living in Bihar, that means Bihar, Odisha, in urban areas. And there are lot of properties in these states. Urban poverty high in Odisha and MP. Urban poverty high in these states. Name of these states are, have you heard the name of Madhya Pradesh? Short form is MP. After that, Odisha. Most of the tribal people are living in Odisha, Jharkhand, so they are poor and living in the condition of poverty. After that, Bihar and UP is also. Bihar and UP. In upper part, I have told you there is a poverty of 38.7% in Bihar. On the second position, Odisha is there. That means 32.6. These two states are the poorest state in India. But they are trying to change their poverty line, their poverty condition. One important thing, I am going to give you some data how they have changed their poverty line. That means decline in poverty. Decline in poverty by different states. You can say now different states have utilized their resources to remove the poverty from their state. Have you heard the name of Madhya Pradesh? Have you heard the name of Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal? These states have utilized, invested their resources in different sectors to decline the poverty from the state. So first of all, we are going to study about Punjab and Haryana. How they have changed their poverty, agriculture, growth rate, agriculture, growth rate. Have you heard the name of Punjab and Haryana? Most of the food grains are supplied in different states from the Punjab and Haryana. This is the time of COVID-19. Lot of people are suffering from hunger. So state governments are taking grains from Punjab and Haryana and distribute among their people for their survival. So due to the agriculture growth rate, Punjab and Haryana reduce their poverty. The next state name you have heard, Kerala. Kerala. That means Kerala has removed his poverty by utilizing human resource development. Human resource development. You know this thing, only Kerala is the single state in India which has 100% literacy. All the people are literate. They work very efficiently. All of them are skilled. So most of the people of Kerala are moving in different states with their skill and earning a lot of money. Even they are working in foreign countries and earning a lot of money. So there is less poverty in Kerala. So that is called human resource development. After that, name is coming regarding West Bengal. Do you know this thing? Lot of people were living in poverty in Bengal. But the state chief minister these days, Mamata Banerjee is the Chief Minister of Bengal, and before that, effort of the different CM reduce the poverty of Bengal. So how they have reduced their poverty? Land reform measure. Land reform measures. Do you know this thing? That means CM of that state measured all the land situated in West Bengal, and that was near about equally divided, distributed among the people. All the people are working hard and producing lot of grains, lot of other crops, which is known as cash crop. And getting cash, they are reducing their poverty. So this way, some states are declining their poverty. Now, the name of Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, both states are working on public distribution. Public distribution food grain. Food grain. That means, do you know this thing? Staple, important things for the survival of people is grain, food grain. So, Andhra Pradesh government and Tamil Nadu government, they are distributing their food grain equally among their citizens. So this way, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu has declined its poverty. I have told you like this, other states are also trying to utilize their human resources and other resources for the development of their state. If the state will develop, that means there will be less poverty. Now I have to discuss other topic. Other topic means other title of this topic, that is called the global poverty. Do you know global means anything on the world level counted by the suppose World Bank and other institution, that is called global. So we have to study about the global poverty scenarios. Global poverty scenarios. Global poverty scenarios. Now, global poverty scenarios will be discussed with the help of some data. I will tell you partly the poverty decline in China. Decline in China and Southeast Asian countries. Asian countries as a result of rapid economic growth, rapid economic growth, it is the important thing, and massive investment in human resources, in human resources development. Do you know this thing? I have told you, China is the largest populous country in the world. Have you heard the name of Russia also? Russia is the largest country and technically developed country. How they have developed? We have discussed regarding that. That means these countries have utilized their human power, human resources, and there were massive investment in the development. So they have got as a developed countries. Now we have to discuss about East Asian countries. So means East, Southeast Asian countries. Do you know this thing? In this list or areas, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Nepal. These are the countries which has very poor people, but these countries are also trying to develop their human resources to reduce the poverty from their country. Now I am going to give you some data which will show that there is decreasing order poverty in the countries. Now according to 2005, there were 34% of poor people, and in 2013 you can say only 16.2% people were poor. So you can see according to year in 2005 there were 34% poor people, while in the year 2013 there were only 16.2% poor people. Number of poor decline according to data. Number of poor people decline. So according to 2005 there were 510.4 million people. While in 2013 there were only 274.5 million people. So according to data, you can say there is decline rate in the people of poverty according to data. That means in 2005 there were 510.4 million people poor, while in 2013 there were 274.5 million people under the poverty line. But now it is the year of 2020. So in the ratio of this, you can say there are very less people living in other countries as a poor. The next data of poverty I am going to prove in front of you. Poverty in China. In China decreases. Data will show that. That means in 1981 there were 38.3% poor people in China. While in the data of 2005, they became 14.7%. You can see in these years, 2 decades, very less people were poor in China. After that, in 2015, you can say only 0.7% people were poor. Now, this is the year of 2020. That's why there is no poor people, no poverty in China. Because China has massive investment in human resources. Lot of factories have been established by China and no one is poor in China. Even school-going children are earning by making toys, any other article, and that is exported to other countries, and there is also income of small children, school-going children, and with their income, parents are paying their school fee. So this way China has reduced its poverty. Do you know this thing? According to the forecast news by the World Bank, UNO, United Nations, near about in 2030, this is the 2020, in 2020, there will be removal of poverty from the world because all the countries are trying to remove poverty with their total effort. Establishing factories, acquiring land, measuring land, the equal distribution of development things, different resources are done by the government to remove the poverty. Especially we have to study regarding India. Do you know this thing? Before 1947, that means one term is used, pre-independence and after independence. That means post-independence. Before independence, do you know this thing? Indian people were compelled to produce cotton, nail and other thing which was a good raw material for the Britain. And that was purchased by the British at very minimum or low rate. And that was purchased and went to London, where industries were situated and things were prepared in their factories, and again that things come to India and sold among the people at high rate. People were compelled to purchase British things, not the Indian. Due to this reason, due to affect this policy of Britishers, Indian people day by day becoming poor and living in the poverty. That means due to this work, Indian economic collapse. Small scale industries, cottage industries, spoiled by the Britishers. There were no job in Indian people. In Indian country, people were unemployed. That's why day by day their condition became meager. So after independence, Indian government tried to remove such policies and tried to develop their resources. So India become the country of good status. Now these are the position of global poverty in the world. I have mentioned lot of countries are trying to what? Remove the poverty. That's why they become a strong country in the world. Day by day there is new technical development in different countries of the world. So it is called global poverty scenario. I request you, suggest you, there are two main points on which we have to study. One is that what are the causes of poverty, and what is the step taken by government to remove the poverty, not property, poverty from the country. Regarding this thing, we have to study in the next lecture. You will be ready and be ready. You have to ask the question. I will give you the answer. This way your knowledge will increase. I hope that you will follow, you will study, you will read the lesson, and we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you. Happy next day. हो गया सर?